Hello students, today we are in this video of ours, we are going to learn about the commonly abused drugs. Now what is abuse? Abuse is, there are three terms: use, misuse and abuse. Use is when whatever quantity is required by the body. Suppose take for example, take cough syrup. So if the cough syrup, the doctor has prescribed you the cough syrup, that is you have to take 2 spoons, 2 teaspoons in a day, and you are taking 2 teaspoons in a day, that is use of that cough syrup. But suppose you start liking its taste and then you started taking 10 spoons in a day. So that is misuse. And taking three bottles of cough syrup every day, that is abuse. So there are many drugs which are being abused by the human beings, and these drugs are very harmful to the body, and they are addictive in nature. And with after a prolonged use of these drugs, the person become addicted to these drugs, and one stage comes when the person cannot survive without taking these drugs, and the body starts reacting when these drugs are not given to the body, and that stage is called withdrawal stage. The person starts showing withdrawal symptoms, and in some cases it can be very severe and can be lethal too. At one stage, if it is in the early stages, the willpower of the person is should be strong enough to stop it. Otherwise you need medical assistance for de-addicting yourself. So there are rehabilitation centers, there are medical centers which are doing this job. So in this topic of ours, we will see what are the different types of drugs which are abused by the adolescents, basically, because here we are concerned about the adolescence. Adolescence is your age of students, when the student is between the child is between childhood and adulthood. So that is called adolescence period, and in adolescence period the students, they want to experiment with these kind of drugs. So we will see what are these drugs and what are their harmful effects, and what should be done to avoid their misuse and abuse. So first in this category is opioids, and opioids are also called heroin. The source is acetylation of morphine. This morphine is extracted from the latex of poppy plant. These poppy plants are there, and from the latex of this poppy plant, that is Papaver somniferum, this is the biological name of this poppy plant, the morphine is extracted, and then acetylation of morphine is done to make this heroin. Now this is consumed by snorting. Snorting means the people, they take it through their nose. You must have seen people keeping it on the paper or a hand, and they snort. That is snorting. Or injection. These are injectable also. So by using injection, intravenous injection, they are using this. Now what are the properties of heroin? It is a white colored powder which is bitter in taste and odorless. It has got no smell. What is the mode of action? It binds to the opioid receptors present in the central nervous system and gastrointestinal tract. So what happened? There are certain receptors which are present in our brain and intestinal tract. So they go and they bind those. So it is a depressant. The person feel depressed. The effect is depression. It is a depressant, and it slows down body's function. The person's body functions are slowed down because of taking of this or abuse of this drug. Then the another category of drug is cannabinoids. Now this, the sources is inflorescence. Inflorescence is the flowers of the plant Cannabis sativa. Now this is consumed by inhalation, or you take it, or oral ingestion. So oral inhalation and inhalation. Inhalation is again through the nose, or oral ingestion. These are consumed by the person. And what is the mode of action? It binds to the cannabinoid receptors which are present in the brain, and this affects the cardiovascular system. In the cardiovascular system, basically the heart and the blood vessels, they are affected by this drug. The third category of drugs is cocaine. Now, source is coca plant, that is Erythroxylum coca. This is found in the South America, and this is consumed by snorting. Again, that snorting, and mode of action is interference with transfer of neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are the substances between the two neurons at the synapse which are helping in the transfer of nerve impulse. So they interfere with the transfer of neurotransmitter and dopamine. So what happens? It stimulates the central nervous system, and it affect the brain functions of the brain. So what happens actually? It gives you a sense of euphoria. Euphoria means you will feel at top of the world with the increased energy, and you will feel, for some time you will feel very nice at the top of the world. All worries are gone. So these are that is called euphoria and increased energy state. And excessive doses called hallucinations also. Hallucinations means you have some hallucination that this has happened, that has happened, which is actually not there. So hallucinations are also caused because of the cocaine. Now, drugs which are these drugs, some of the drugs are used in medicines also for medicinal purposes. These drugs are like barbiturates, amphetamines, then benzodiazepines, then LSD. LSD is what? Lysergic acid diethylamines. These are used as medicines to help patients with mental illness, because when the mental illness is there, it is basically associated with the restlessness, anxiety, and insomnia. Insomnia means the patient is not able to sleep properly. So for mental illness, in psychotropic drugs, these things are used for the patient, to as a sedative for the patient, so that the patient can get rest and sleep. Morphine is a painkiller which is also used for the patients who have undergone surgery, because after the surgery there is too much of pain. So this morphine acts as a painkiller, and it is given to the patient which have undergone surgery. But it is also abused. In many cases, this morphine is abused. Now, another drug is nicotine. Nicotine is present in tobacco, which is smoked, chewed, or snuffed. These are the three forms in which the nicotine, the tobacco, can be taken. Now, mode of action is it stimulates the adrenaline gland to release adrenaline and noradrenaline. So these are the hormones which are released. They increase the blood pressure and the heart rate. The excitement is increased. So that is the effect of these drugs. Now, what are the ill effects of smoking? Increased risk of diseases like bronchitis, that is the lungs disease, then emphysema, coronary heart diseases, gastric ulcers, and cancer. Cancer can be of throat, lung, and urinary bladder. So these are the diseases which can be the result of the smoking. Then increased carbon monoxide levels in blood. Nicotine inside the lungs can increase the level of carbon monoxide in blood. And when the carbon monoxide levels are increased, it leads to the oxygen deficiency. So these are the harmful ill effects of smoking. Then alcohol. Alcohol is also can be abused, and normally it starts in adolescence. Adolescence is period of 12 to 18, which is a transition phase between childhood and adulthood. Now, what happens? Many adolescents are motivated towards drugs and alcohol due to curiosity and experimentation. Peer pressure. What is peer pressure? The pressure from your friends. What happened? The friends will say, "Oh, you don't know how to smoke a cigarette. You are not cool. You are not for this society, for modern society." So at the for the children of your age, you people need to experiment that, because of the curiosity, and this experiment can be very, very dangerous. So you should be knowing that what is wrong and what is good or what is bad for you. So if you know, the choice would be yours. And by developing the life skills of decision making, that to choose the right from the wrong, then you can avoid all these things. And there should be a good family network for you, for your safety. And the peer pressure is positive as well. There are friends who are very, very positive, and they will make you progress in the right kind of direction. But peer pressure can be negative, it can be positive. Then there is academic stress, the stress of the exams, the stress of the test, the stress of the syllabus, the stress of the parental expectations, the stress of the teachers' expectations. So this academic stress is also there with the children, and when they are at times when they are not able to handle that stress, they can be dragged into such kind of experimentations of using these drugs. Then unstable family structure. The family is not very much connected to each other, or the parents are not having time for their children. So all these things may lead for the adolescents to experiment all these alcohol and drugs abuse. Now, perception of consuming alcohol, drug being cool. The students, that is, children think of this age, think that it's cool to have some alcohol, or it's cool to smoke a cigarette. And progressive use of alcohol, drug in television. The social media has also a lot to do with this, because all these fancy advertisements they show as a status symbol. The students think that it's a cool thing. One should be indulging in all these things. So these things promote this habit further. Now, what is a drug addiction? Addiction is when a person uses alcohol or any drug repeatedly, then he or she becomes addicted to it. And addiction refers to psychological attachment to certain effects, such as euphoria and temporary feeling of well-being. Suppose you have taken some drug and you have forgotten about your exam stress, you have forgotten about the society. So you are the euphoria, you're feeling euphoria at high energy level, and you get attached to this kind of effect. So what happens? The body wants that effect again and again, and you indulge in taking these drugs again and again, and a stage will come when you become addicted to it. So this temporary feeling of well-being is associated with the use of alcohols and drugs. But in long term, they are very, very dangerous. In addiction, tolerance level of receptors present in our body increases towards the drug. Now, what happens earlier, when if you are getting that euphoria feeling or a high energy feeling with two cigarettes, after few days you require to get that same good feeling, you will require 4 cigarettes, then 6 cigarettes, and ultimately it will keep on increasing. So the abuse increases, the person starts smoking more and more cigarettes, the person starts using more and more drugs, the quantity of the drugs and alcohol will keep on increasing. And because the receptors which are present in our body, their tolerance level increase, and for that particular drug. So as the if you're consuming it for a longer period of time, after a certain period of time, the body requires more and more. So this drives a person to use them even when they are not required, and when they tend to harm his health, family. It's not only the person who is using this. The person who is drug addicted, the family suffers the most. So the family life is suffered, family members are suffering because of that person. Subsequently, the user runs into a vicious circle of addiction and subsequent dependence. So this addiction will keep on increasing, and a stage will come when this addiction, if the drug is not taken, the body starts showing symptoms. And this dependence leads to the manifestation of the withdrawal syndrome on discontinuation of use. Suppose the person has stopped it, so it will become very difficult for that person, because if he or she is discontinuing its use, the body will start showing the withdrawal symptoms. And what are the withdrawal symptoms? Anxiety, nausea, sweating, shakiness, and sometimes it may be lethal. So at times a stage will come when only willpower cannot help. The person needs medical interference, medical assistance, if he or she wants to quit or discontinue its use. Now, what are the effects of alcohol or drugs abuse? Immediate effect is vandalism. The person become violent, aggressive, and violence is there. The behavior is reckless, and drop in the academic performance. Suppose a child is used to get A or B, and after use of these drugs, the academic performance will go down. So you have to be aware and alert, the parents, the teachers, and the peer group. Even you as the classmates, you should be aware about each other. Suppose a very good student, a very academically a very bright student, suddenly you see the drop in his or her academic performance, grade degrading, then immediately it's a matter of concern. You should report to the teachers, you should report to the parents. So lack of interest in personal hygiene. Now these are the symptoms to be aware of, we all should be vigilant of these symptoms, because these are the symptoms if a person is abusing, drug abusing. So one is academic, drop in the academic performance. Second is lack in the interest in personal hygiene. The person will not be interested in his or her hygiene. He or she will come in dirty clothes. He will not do his hair or her hair, and the skin looks dirty, the nails are dirty. So personal hygiene interest is lost in these people. Then they become rebellious. Behavior becomes rebellious. There is a change in their eating and sleeping pattern. Their weight fluctuates. Sometimes it increases, sometimes it decreases, and at the same time appetite also fluctuates. Sometimes they are eating very much, they are eating too much, and sometimes they are not eating at all. So these are the alarming signs to be watched. Now, mental, psychological, and financial loss, not only to the user, but also to his family. So mental loss is there, then psychological also. There, everybody will be disturbed in the family, and financial loss is there, because these drugs, alcohol, the cigarettes, the tobacco, everything is causing a financial loss to the family. Now, those who take drugs intravenously have a high risk of acquiring deadly diseases such as AIDS and hepatitis B. And now, in the video of where we have discussed AIDS, we have discussed that AIDS, the one of the causes using infected needles. Now, how these needles get infected? Because the persons are using, means they are sharing those needles when they are using these intravenous, they are taking these drugs intravenously, they are sharing these needles. So with the harmful effects of these drugs, they can also acquire the deadly diseases such as AIDS and hepatitis B. Then damage to the nervous system and liver, damage to liver is called cirrhosis. A person who is indulging in alcohol abuse may, for if for a prolonged time period, may end up with a cirrhosis, that is damaged liver. Then use of anabolic steroids by a sports person may have adverse effects. You must have seen that in national and international game events, the some persons are banned from these events because they are found to be taking these steroids. These steroids increases their energy level, so these they can run more efficiently on track, or they can indulge in the sports more efficiently, so they misuse these drugs. And if found, because there are medical tests for all sports, and if found, they can be banned or they can be disqualified from the games. So in females, what these steroids are doing, they are increasing the masculinity, aggressiveness, depression, abnormal menstrual cycle, and facial hair growth, enlargement of clitoris, and deepening of voice. So these are the symptoms which can happen by taking these steroids in females. And in males, the acne, aggressiveness, depression, reduction in the size of testicles, decreased sperm production, enlargement of prostate gland, breast enlargement, premature baldness. These are the symptoms which may occur in males. And ultimately, prolonged use of alcohol and drugs leads to coma and death. So that is the end. And how can we prevent these abuse, these drugs, now that we are aware that harmful effects and the deadly effects of these drugs? How can we prevent them? So it is better to prevent the inclination. When you have the inclination, when you have the negative peer pressure who are dragging you towards the use of these things, that cigarette smoking is cool, one cigarette may not make any difference, or one drink. So when this inclination is there, it should be stopped at there, at that place only. So it is better to prevent the inclination of an individual towards alcohol, drugs, right from adolescence, because adolescence is the stage where the child wants to do all these experiments because of his her curiosity. So some of the ways of prevention are: avoid peer pressure. You should be strong enough to avoid peer pressure. You should be having clear idea in your mind what is bad for me and what is good for me. And if it is bad, you should have the courage to say no, a firm no. Understand the unique personality and capabilities of a child. Education and counseling: a child must be taught to accept success and failure equally. Actually, the unfortunately in our society, we teach our students, we teach our children to take accept success with a very good feeling, but we do not teach our students to accept failure. The failure is also there, it's a part of life. Everybody cannot success at the first attempt. Whoever do the all success stories, they are having lot many failures behind them. So without failures, the success cannot come. So the children must be taught to accept success and failure. You have to do your best and then leave it to the almighty and for the results. You have don't have to worry about the failure or the success. Especially during adolescence, he must be inclined toward constructive activities. You have to channelize your energies, because at this age of yours, you are bundle of energy. You people are having so much of energy, so you have to channelize your energy for constructive activities. What are these constructive activities? Music, yoga, sports, reading, anything, painting, drawing, anything which is of your interest. So you should be indulging in any hobby of your interest to use your energy constructively. Now, help from parents and peers. Do not hesitate to take help from parents. Your mother, your father, they are your best friends. Your peers, the peer pressure, the positive peer influence is also there. There must be some friends who always think of your welfare. So you can take help of them. You can take help of your teachers. You can take help of your parents. And this includes proper guidance, advice, and trust to overcome problems such as stress and guilt. Identifying danger signals, I told you that if you are seeing anybody whose academic performance is degrading, or the person has lost interest in his or her personal hygiene, or he or she is staying, he wants to be alone, and always dull, not attentive. So these are the signs, symptoms, these are the danger signals where the family and friends should get alert. And if the sign of symptom of alcohol or drug abuse is seen, then by family or friends, then it should not be ignored, because prevention is better than cure. And seeking medical help, seeking medical help has got no negative effect. There should not be any hesitation in seeking the medical help, because if the parents conclude, if the teachers think that now the stage has come when seeking medical help is must, then psychologists are there, rehabilitation programs are there which help in de-addiction. So medical help should be sought to prevent further damage. So this was all about the drug abuse, and you all should be very, very careful, aware and alert about this.